morning, I hope you're well. I promised I would get this out, and I thought that I would send this recommended reading list out towards the end of the course rather than at the beginning. And the reason for that is I cover so much in the course itself, there's enough there to keep going. And if you wonder what course I'm talking about, it's the free lockdown learning series that I've been sharing with people every Thursday for the last 5 weeks, and this week is the last week of that training course. And what we were really focused on is how do we create organizations that really do amazing work, that are brilliant to work for, and as a consequence they're very successful. And this was very much looking at the people side of things, as well as areas like business agility and so on. So I wanted to send this out now because it will make more sense. And really this short list really is what I would hope to read if I was starting out as a leader, or I was struggling with some leadership challenges today. And the truth of the matter is this is only a small portion of what I would recommend over the next year or two. It's more than enough to get on with. I will go through each book very quickly just so it makes sense. So the first one is Spark by John Ratey. That's the science of what exercise does for the brain. And it's very, very important. It's a profound book, and it is one of those books that will change how you look at exercise. It's all to do with brain health. Flourish by Marty Seligman is kind of one of the foundational books about what makes individuals thrive. Full Catastrophe Living, really that is John's very well researched work on how to thrive and survive in this world that we live in, where it's so uncertain. Leaders Eat Last is really the only leadership book that I've put in there by Simon Sinek, because he does an amazing job of concisely bringing together a variety of sciences and practical outcomes about what makes an amazing leader. Positivity by Barbara Fredrickson. If you've been on a course, you know that Barbara was one of the first researchers into positive emotion and the profound effect it has on teams and individuals. Flow is the science of flow, being immersed in a task, and it's closely aligned with Deep Work by Cal Newport, which is a way of working where we're focused on one thing at a time. Both of them are extremely important, particularly in this world where we suffer from distraction all of the time. So task switching is something that everybody does. It is stressful for the brain and goes against the fundamentals of how our brain has been designed. Give and Take by Adam Grant is about how do you set an environment where you get the best out of people, and Adam covers some of the areas about the importance of meaning in work, how it improves productivity and engagement, and a whole other bunch of stuff. The Power of Full Engagement by Jim Lohr and Tony Schwartz is an amazing book about the importance of pacing your day. They looked at high performers, and if you are a high performer, quite a driven person, you'll have a tendency to burn out. And so this book really is about what they now understand the brain needs to maintain a level of performance over long periods of time. Really important book. The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg. I'll talk a little bit about that this week, because we're talking about how you change yourself or a team or an organization, and it's blinking hard, okay? And what Charles talks about is what we now understand from science about how you create new positive habits. I'll also be talking this week about how you change at an individual level and how you change at an organizational level, because most people's mental models, particularly of organizational change, is completely flawed. Social physics I talked about quite a bit. This is the new science that merges big data and mathematics with watching how social systems work to ensure levels of organizational societal health. Profoundly important book by Alex Pentland. Social by Matthew Lieberman is really all about social cognitive neuroscience, or social brain, our desire and need for social connection, and how in many organizations we get this completely wrong and we pay the price in high staff turnover, low engagement, crap products, low profitability and so on, or lower profitability. And I see this a lot. So Matthew's work, just that one book by itself, will be a real eye-opener for most people. And then The Culture Code by Daniel Coyle. I think what Daniel does really well is he brings a lot of the stuff that I've shared, a lot of the science, and puts it into one digestible book. And this is really his attempt to say these are the kind of cultures we need to create to have organizations that do amazing things. As you'll see, I've written a little bit of blurb at the end that basically says this stuff is bloody hard. That's just me being honest. Whether it's you changing yourself, whether it is changing a team, or whether it's changing an organization, it's tough. There's not two ways about it. But what you have in that reading list is some really, really brilliant resources to help you understand what makes an individual thrive, what makes a team thrive, what makes organizations thrive. And then most importantly, how can you change them from a place of doing okay or even struggling to thriving. If you get stuck though, if you're struggling with a few challenges, then by all means drop me an email. It's alan.furlong@radtac.com. So I will see you this Thursday at 12:30 for the final week of the lockdown learning. It is actually, I think, the most important week because it's all about how do we get successful change happening. And I am certain that what I'll share with you will be very, very different to what you've heard from other sources in the past. Okay, so on that note, wish you well. Let me know your thoughts about the reading list. And thank you to everyone who's recommended books to me as we've gone through this program together. And I look forward to seeing you this Thursday at 12:30. Take care.